What's up, guys? It's your girl, Natasha Mbajonas from Zion 5. I am an 8th grader at Ulrich Intermediate, and I guess you could say I grew up in a Christian household. But as so-called Christians, we never spoke about God, Jesus, or His words. So once my sister graduated from high school, I was brought to church at the age of 12. When I was younger, I was initially interested in God. I heard that we were Christians, and that was it. But I didn't know what or who was a Christian. Though at the time, it was quite easy to believe that God existed in my life and everyone's life. As I got older, I realized that I practically knew nothing about God. How can I call myself a Christian if I didn't go to church or didn't go to church on Sundays? How can I call myself a Christian if I never read the Bible or spoke about Him? And as I kept on getting older, I didn't think about God very much. And when I did think about God, I seemed to be very confused. My skepticism about God kept on getting stronger and stronger to the point that His existence seemed to be all a myth that had made millions of people to believe that He was their so-called Lord and Savior. I reasoned myself that people were only Christian because they feared of going to hell, even the ones that didn't go to church. And during all this deep thought, I never made a firm decision on my connections with God. I decided to forget about it and leave it unanswered. At the age of 12, when I discovered that my mother was religious, I was very surprised. I thought that my mother held the same sentiment as my father and eldest sister. They both believed that church wasn't necessary and just a waste of time. So when I first stepped inside a church, I had many conflicting emotions. I also found church very boring. I didn't want to listen to a preacher go on and on about God, repeating himself every session during Sunday service. So for quite a while, I infrequently went to church. It was up until I joined house church that I started going to church more oftenly. Going to house church made me feel more comfortable sharing my thoughts and feelings about God. But this only applied around other Christians. At any other place, I felt ashamed to be Christian and thought it was embarrassing to believe in God and Jesus. These feelings stuck with me until I went through my breakthrough at IM and movement. And despite my breakthrough during IM, there were times where I felt awkward, uncomfortable, and felt very bored. I even got to the point where I felt falling asleep during the preaching, and during the time, I still wouldn't admit to myself that I was feeling God's presence. I was tired for the most part, and only felt like I was receiving a short spiritual high during praise. I later forgot about everything that I heard. Though during movement, I think I fully recognized God and the joy that He can put inside other people. It amazes me seeing how vulnerable people are when crying during preaching and jumping up and down during praise. And seeing this has made me feel joy and was enough proof to show that God was working through them. And even after movement, I felt spiritual warfare. But I put enough faith in God to know that accepting Him as my Lord and Savior was the right decision. And even though I felt like the very same person after baptism, I feel more at peace because I know that God's love is unconditional and that I'm good enough for His love. I also like to give another thanks to my house church for supporting me, also to my adult shepherds for their expensive expenditures after RJM and Hangouts, and thank you, Rebecca Jung, for always talking to me about faith, warfare, and just being patient and understanding.